Smith believed he was secure. He had a stable job, a steady paycheck, a predictable routine. Every 2 weeks, money arrived on time. Bills were paid. Savings slowly grew. On the surface, everything looked fine, stable even. But one evening, something small caught his attention. A colleague had just been let go. No warning, no transition period, just a short meeting, and it was over. By the next morning, his desk was empty. Smith couldn't stop thinking about it, not because it was dramatic, but because it was normal. That's when a quiet question entered his mind. If my job disappears, what remains? He sat with that question longer than expected, because the answer was uncomfortable. His income came from one place, one system, one employer, one decision that wasn't fully in his control. And that realization shifted something. For years, he had been focused on earning, but he had never questioned the source. A job provides income, but it doesn't guarantee stability, because a job can be removed. A skill cannot. That difference is subtle, but it's everything. The next day, Smith started observing differently. He noticed something interesting about people around him. Some employees depended entirely on their role. Their value was tied to their position. If the role disappeared, so did their income. But others were different. They had something else, a transferable ability. They could write, analyze, design, communicate, solve problems. And those abilities didn't belong to the company. They belonged to them. That's when Smith understood something powerful. A job pays you once. A skill can pay you repeatedly. He looked at his own situation honestly. Yes, he was good at his job. But if he had to start again tomorrow, what could he offer? Not the company, the market. The answer wasn't clear. And that lack of clarity bothered him, because it meant one thing. He had been building income, but not building leverage. That night, Smith made a shift, not a dramatic one, a strategic one. He decided to start building something that couldn't be taken away. A skill, not for immediate money, not for quick results, but for long-term control. He started small. After work, instead of defaulting to passive routines, he spent 1 hour learning. At first, it felt slow, uncomfortable even. No immediate reward, no visible progress, just effort. But unlike his job, this effort accumulated differently. It didn't reset every 2 weeks, it compounded. Weeks passed, then months. Something subtle began to change. He started understanding things faster, thinking differently, seeing opportunities he didn't notice before. The same environment, but a different perspective. And then something interesting happened. A small opportunity appeared, a freelance task, a side project, a chance to apply what he had been learning. It wasn't a lot of money, but that wasn't the point. For the first time, income didn't come from his job. It came from his ability. And that moment felt different, because it answered the question that had been sitting in his mind. If my job disappears, what remains? Now he had an answer. Something would remain. Smith didn't quit his job. He didn't take unnecessary risks. He simply changed his foundation. He stopped depending only on a paycheck and started building capability, because he realized something most people miss. Job security is external. Skill security is internal. External security can change overnight. Internal security grows with time. Over the next few months, his confidence shifted, not because his salary increased, but because his dependency decreased. And reduced dependency creates power. He understood something clearly now. Income from a job is important, but it's limited. It depends on time, availability, approval. A skill removes those limits. It creates options, multiple paths, multiple opportunities. Because in the long run, the most valuable asset isn't your job. It's your ability. And that changes everything. Because when your income depends on a job, you work for money. But when your income depends on a skill, money can come to you in different ways. Smith wasn't trying to escape his job. He was trying to strengthen his position. Quietly, consistently, strategically. Because real financial growth doesn't come from one source. It comes from building something that stays with you, something that grows with you, something no one can take away. And that's when he understood a job can pay your bills, but a skill can change your life.